Have you been thinking about airline travel or a long train trip and thinking, how am I going to survive such a long flight? Well, today's video, we have some tips and tricks for your airline survival kit so that you won't suffer even if you're in the back of the bus. I'm about to go on a 10-hour flight, and that got us both talking. We realized that both of us have kind of a checklist that we always bring in our carry-on bags whenever we're going to go, especially on a long flight, but really any trip. I have certain things that I bring every time, and I do it kind of the same way, but I've never seen people really talk about how do you pack a carry-on bag so you're not that person that is in their seat and you're pulling things around and then you've got something up above and you forgot a thing below and you're like wishing you had a jacket the whole time because it's freezing. And I realize there are some things you can do to be super prepared and super calm no matter how long your flight is every time. Yep. And we both have different things, but pretty much they're kind of the same set. So we thought we would unpack my bag and show you what we bring. Start off your trip right by not being that person who hogs the aisle and is like all over the place and you got all these people behind you and they're already mad. Today's travel, people have a fuse that's shorter than ever, so don't be that person. And part of that is getting prepared. So what we're gonna talk about are some survival tips so that you can not be that person on the plane. So obviously, if you're carrying on a bag, that goes up above, but this is really about what do you keep with you under your seat and what are the things that you always wanna have ready. And beyond that, I often travel alone, and that means there's usually someone next to me. So the first thing I wanna do is I get down and I wanna pull out everything that I think I'm gonna need on the flight and have access to so that I'm not constantly going up and down and trying to find it and pulling things around. And I just wanna get everything out of my bag in a way that actually is organized. So to me, I feel like that's the real ticket, is not just what do you take in your carry-on, but how do you organize it in a way that you can grab things when you really need them. So you can do that while you're sitting at your seat.
Oh yeah. So for me, things I always have available. Number one, some sort of a wrap or a pashmina. This puppy has been with me for like 10 years and I'm always freezing on an airplane. Maybe you want a pillow, maybe you need a little neck thing, maybe you want to I just always like having a little blanket. So this is the first thing that I pull out. It goes on the seat and it makes everything better. And then the real thing for me, you're going to pull out any devices, any, entertainment or things you want. For me, I like over-ear headphones, so I pull out my headphones. But the real secret is having all of your kind of loose, random bits and things contained in pouches. We're big believers in pouches because it makes everything a lot easier to actually grab and organize when you need them. So in my bag, I usually have 3 pouches. These are all ones that we made. But one corrals all my tech. So this is just all the cords, all the little bits, headphones, wireless transmitters, all that stuff. And then I usually keep that in my bag, but I know where it is when I need it.
While we're here,
Yeah.
a lot of times what we're facing is that the airplane has the jacks. And so you can use their earbuds, but you're gonna get yourself in trouble. So if you're trying to use your AirPods or a wireless headphone set like she is, then you really wanna invest in one of these little Wi-Fi, wireless Bluetooth transmitters. So this will actually fit into either the USB jack or the jack of the plane, and then you can connect so that you can watch that entertainment if they happen to provide it. So you make sure that you can
use your own stuff and you don't have to worry about it. And those are really easy to get. They're pretty affordable and it just makes anything better. If you're in a car, like a rental car, you can use that to send Bluetooth to the car to be able to play from the car speakers if you want to play music. It's really handy to have. So that's the things that go in the little tech pouch. And then the second pouch that I always have is a little kind of first aid kit emergency pouch that I always keep on me just in case. And I put it together with things like aspirin, Imodium.
I put in shout wipes,
Yeah.
Tide pens, that kind of stuff.
That kind of stuff. And it's all things that I might want to grab if I'm having an issue and I just know that I need it. I always put in a few Band-Aids, a few, like a little thing of moleskin, so if my feet get a blister, you just never know. So this doesn't come out of my bag, but it's always there in case I suddenly get a headache when I'm on the flight.
I always put in a nail file, just
Yes.
a real, like a emery board, the little one, the travel size.
I always
'cause you
break
just
my nails.
never know.
Put it in the backup.
They'll bug you. At least they bug me.
Yeah.
So I just learned, put that in the emergency kit. Think through your emergencies.
Yeah.
And just have those, but they don't need to come out, right?
No, it's just things that if you're on a long flight and suddenly you have a headache or you're feeling motion sickness or whatever, you don't want to have to pull out your checked bag to get that stuff. So it stays at the bottom of my bag, but it's always there for me just in case I need it. But to me, the real secret is every time I get on a plane, there are a couple of things that just make me a little bit more comfortable. I always want to put my hair up. My hands are always super dry. My lips get chapped. It's just stuff like that. And if I was just dragging around my bag and pulling out my purse every time I need to find a hair tie, it gets a little cumbersome. So a while ago, I realized that if I just put everything that makes my life a little more comfortable in a sort of a airplane comfort pouch, then I'm always ready to go. And then this goes with me in my day bag if I'm out traveling around in the city. I always know I have the things that just make my life a little more comfortable. So in the little side pocket, I have hair ties, I have a clip to put my hair up because hair is always annoying. And then I always have lotion. I have a pen because there's always those forms that you need to fill out and then you have to be that person who asks the person next to them for a pen.
I can't live without chapstick.
Yeah, chapstick is a must. A tie pen because, life happens. I throw in a thing of earplugs because sometimes you never know who's going to be crying next to you and I want to be gracious. So things like that make life a little bit easier. And then this always goes in the seat pocket along with whatever I'm reading or my earphones or whatever I want. I put whatever I'm going to take with me, whatever entertainment I'm going to do, and then my little trusty pouch, and I have a better time every time.
So when you get in the plane, you have these guys ready to go in
Just
case you
hanging
need
out.
them.
Yeah.
And then you take that out, put it in the seat
Put it
pocket.
in the seat pocket.
I like to always put out Kleenex too. 'Cause
Yeah.
It just never seems to fail.
So that's right here in my bag, easy to grab.
Okay.
And then the other thing that I like to bring is a collapsible water bottle, which obviously you can't take liquids onto a plane, but you can get them to fill it for you when you're on the plane or in the airport. So I would like this one, it collapses down, it pops out, and then I can fill it and I can always have water with me when I'm on a long flight and you get a little parched. A lot of times they'll come by and they'll refill water, even when they're not doing other drinks, and it's just nice to have.
I have found that when you're going through security, you want to have it empty, obviously, and then you always want to fill it. So
Yeah.
start with it full because it can go in your bag and it's ready to go because they may not get to you for a while. And that air is so dry.
Yeah.
So, but I've always found that the airline stewardesses and stewards
Yeah.
are always more than ready to just fill it.
Yeah.
You think you're asking for a lot, but they're going to go through water. So
If you have it, it
just
makes
have it ready for them, and then they'll fill it for you.
Yeah. And those are things that make long trips just a little bit more pleasant.
Yeah, then you don't have to keep asking them for water.
Yeah. So those are a few things that I always keep in my bag. Anything else that you keep in yours?
Eye patch
Oh yeah, got one.
and a neck pillow. I like.
I didn't bring a neck pillow,
You
but
don't
yeah.
like it as much as I do, but I usually have an.
But I'll take
one.
my pashmina and roll it up and make myself one if I need to.
Yeah, so eye patch is a big one for me because
Yeah.
I tend to use airline travel as a time to sleep. You tend to use it as a time to catch up on movies.
Why not?
And I like to get rested, so I force myself to sleep on a plane. So eye patch to me
She's
is
one of
like,
those lucky people who can sleep anywhere.
but an eye patch is to me is
Yeah,
unforgettable.
Yeah.
And not only that, sometimes you're next to somebody who is just, oh my gosh, they're gonna be that person who just wants to chat and they're nervous chatter. So I just will get out that eye patch and I have it ready to go. And then I put it on my head and I'll just say, I am really sorry. I've had a really late night getting ready for this trip. I'm gonna take a quick nap. And then that shuts them up because I have it ready to go. So you can tell who the introvert is and who the extrovert is.
I always end up chatting.
You would never think that. But then you're irritated that you ended up talking the whole trip. So that's a strategy
There you
for
go.
an airline survival.
So these are a few things that make any flight a little bit better.